Okay, good morning sa inyong lahat.
Good morning po.
Nakapahinga naman ba sa bakasyon na ilang linggo? Parang 2 linggo, ano?
Opo, sir.
I will start sharing my screen now. So, yung kung wala dito ay di manood na lang ng video. Ay, alam ko na-receive nyo na yung mga grades nyo. So, buti yung magandang grades, pero yung hindi magandang grades, ganun talaga. Ano, instead of giving INC or incomplete, binigyan ko na ng bagsak na grado yung mga hindi nagsasubmit. Mas mabuti yun. Kasi yung iba inaabuso nila ang extension na binibigay. Okay, anyway, let's proceed. Nakita nyo na rin yung module na sinend ko sa G-Class.
Opo, sir.
Dalawa yun ano, ito yung isa. Yung isa, matagal ko nang na-discuss sa inyo. Hindi lang ako makapagbibigay ng agarang deadline kasi hindi pa rin ngayon na-discuss sa kabilang section. But anyway, kailangan na niyang magpatuloy. Okay, so welcome to chapter 8. This is the third to the last chapter before we proceed to the TM assessment. Yung assess kung paano yung paraan ng assessment ginagawa pagdating sa TESTA. No? So chapter 8 is about the continuation of the portfolio assessment. This is designing and evaluating portfolio assessment in the classroom kay Emerita Reyes, Erlinda Dizon, and Danilo K. Villena. So the section intended learning outcome, Revillame, can you please read?
Section Intended Learning Outcome. Develop a portfolio as an assessment tool. Chapter
Pakita si
Intended
AL.
Lear-
Yan.
okay.
Sige, diretso.
Chapter Intended Learning Outcome. At the end of this chapter, you should be able to develop and evaluate portfolio assessment utilized in the class.
Okay, so I expect those things to appear sa module. Lesson content. Thank you so much, Revillame. Huwag niyong baliwalayin yung mga recitation yun, ninanood ko yun lahat. Tapos kinocompute kung ilang points ang idadagdag sa dulo. So first, we have steps for developing portfolio assessment. Identify the overall purpose and focus. Identify the physical structure. Determine the appropriate organization and sources of content. Determine student reflection guidelines. Identify and evaluate the scoring criteria. Communicate the results of portfolio evaluation. Then, second part is the portfolio evaluation, whether student evaluation ba ang gagamitin, teacher evaluation, and the student-teacher conference or the PTC. Okay. Ano nga ulit ang portfolio? What is portfolio?
Sir, yung ano po, yun po yung collection po ng mga work ng student po para po ma-document yung learning progress po, yung efforts at saka achievement po ng isang student po towards po dun sa learning outcomes.
Ikaw ay si Merle, ano?
Yes po, sir.
Maraming salamat. That's good. Bago ba ang portfolio assessment?
Hindi po.
But it is an emerging alternative assessment pagdating sa 21st century. Nagtaka lang ako dun sa sagot ng ibang estudyante, kung hindi man kayo yun, sa term 1 exam. Kasi ang subject natin, simulat sa pool, ay performance-based assessment ang pinupunto. Pero ang nilalagay na assessment ay pen and paper test sa term 1 exam, which is contrary kasi nga, hindi naman natin kinonsider doon ang time. Na tipong pag dineliver ko ba ito, 3 objective, tas may 3 assessment, tas gagawa ka ng rubrics, kaya ba siyang tapusin sa isang oras na klase? We never consider time. What I want to see is kung marunong talagang gumawa ng performance assessment, hindi ng pen and paper test. Anyway, but let us proceed now and continue with the portfolio. So, hindi siya bago. Now, portfolio development requires learners to collect and integrate examples of their work and allows the teacher to assess their learners as well. So it is a compilation. But hindi lang siya pinagsama-sama kasi depende sa kung ang gusto ng teacher ay output or process or product or process. So depende sa kung anong orientation ang gustong gamitin ni teacher o gusto mong gamitin sa classroom mo para yun din kasi yung magiging sandigan kung gaano ka gaano ka substantial o gaano kadami o gaano kalaman o gaano ka-rich ang portfolio assessment na kinuha mo o ipinagawa mo sa estudyante. So this assessment tool provides opportunities for both the learners and the teachers to better understand the educational process in a wider perspective, simply because ang lagi nating sinasabi pag portfolio assessment ay very contextualized sa bawat isang estudyante, bawat classroom may culture, pero bawat isang estudyante, magkakaiba pa rin yan ng background. So when it comes to portfolio assessment, they can have their own personal touches, they have their own reflection sa kanilang mga portfolio. So it's very, ang portfolio ay merong mga bagay na hindi natin pwedeng ipakita to the public. Kasi for example, kung grades ang ginawang portfolio ni teacher, nag-compile ka ng mga quizzes. So hindi siya open for all. Pero kung portfolio yan ng mga drawings, stories, poems, edi pwede naman niyang i-display or exhibit. So this chapter describes the processes of planning and implementing portfolio assessment in the classroom. The steps are aligned with the teaching and learning assessment. Siyempre dapat the steps are always aligned with the teaching learning assessment sa curriculum and the teaching and learning activities as well. It is always important na alam ng ating mga teacher at alam ng ating mga estudyante kung bakit tayo gumagawa ng portfolio. Hindi dahil gusto lang ni ma'am o gusto lang ni sir na magkaroon ng maipakitang compilation, but rather dapat kasi malinaw siya na naka-align siya sa teaching learning process, sa learning outcome or sa objectives. Ang ilan sa inyo ay hindi pa rin naiintindihan yung learning outcome. Ang learning outcome or LO ay term na ginagamit natin in the outcomes-based education. Sa lumang estilo ng paraan ng pag-aaral, ito yung tinatawag natin na objectives. So, yung iba kasi ang nilagay sa exam ay kapag learning outcome 1, nakalagay ay title, but it is not that way. No, it should be the objectives. It should be behavioral. Pag sinabing behavioral, gumagamit ka dapat ng verb in the beginning. No? So, let's go with the steps for developing portfolio assessment. Designing a portfolio assessment requires some advanced and careful planning. Hindi basta naisipan lang. It begins with a clear idea about the purpose of the assessment. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. You need to be sure what is the purpose. The following steps provide a general directions or alisin yung provide general directions for developing portfolio assessment. 1. Hindi sa isa ko yata yan. Okay. So first is identify your purpose and focus. Second is, ano yung physical structure? Ano magiging itsura? And determine the appropriate organization and sources of content. Ibig sabihin, paano ba ang pagkakasunod-sunod? That's organization. And the sources of content, saan po ba namin kukuhain ang ilalagay po namin sa portfolio? Determine student reflection guidelines, saang bahagi at paano magre-reflect ang bata sa kanyang ginawang portfolio. Then identify and evaluate the scoring criteria. Anong criteria ang gagamitin sa pag-i-score? Anong rubrics? Anong dimension? Then communicate the results of portfolio evaluation. Usually when we communicate the results, ginagamit natin ang parent-teacher conference. Okay. So, this is the first. Identify the overall purpose and focus. Sa palagay nyo, bakit kailangan malaman yung overall purpose and focus ng isang portfolio assessment?
Sir, para po maging aware yung students sa magiging pinakang main goal po ng gagawin nilang portfolio.
Okay, thank you. Para maging aware ang students sa kung ano ang gagawin nilang portfolio. Tama ba yun, Miss Caliejo?
Oherio po.
Hindi, Caliejo yung bago kong tinatanong. Thank you, Oherio.
Okay po. Sorry po.
Opo, sir. Ano din po, binibigay rin po yung purpose ng portfolio po to para po malaman ng mga estudyante kung ano ba po yung eksakto na dapat mag-gain ng estudyante after doing the portfolio.
Okay. Bakit mahalaga ang personal touch sa portfolio?
Ako rin po ba, sir?
Pwede rin naman.
Iba naman po.
Iba naman. Bakit mahalaga ang personal touch? Ano ba yung personal touch? Ballestero.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Ano yung personal touch?
Yung pong parang ikaw mismo yung gumawa po.
In a more formal way is contextualized. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let's proceed. Let's go back. So, tanungin mo yung sarili mo bilang teacher. Why do I want a portfolio? Bakit ko siya kailangan? Baka naman kasi pwedeng hindi. Baka naman wala siyang Ballester, i-mute mo na yung mic. Narinig ko yung manok.
Ano po, sir?
Ayan. Okay. Baka naman pwedeng hindi. Baka maging additional burden ito sa estudyante. Diba? You come to think, why do I want a portfolio? Pag sinagot mo yan, malalaman mo yung overall purpose mo. Oo nga, no? So, dahil ganito at dahil ganyan. And what learning targets and curriculum goals will it serve? Meron bang objectives na mahihit? Meron bang content standard na laman si curriculum guide na pwedeng ma-address? So that's how you are going to identify the overall purpose and focus. So, when you prepare to use, in preparing to use portfolio assessment, you ask the following question: sino ang gagawa o who will construct the portfolio? Individual students ba with teacher input and help? Or individual students with input and help of cooperative learning groups? Grupo ba ito? O kaya naman cooperative-based groups ba ito? Whole group work and individual members work with teacher input and help? You determine sino ang magko-construct ng portfolio. Yan. Next is, anong uri ng portfolio ang gusto kong gamitin? Ano-ano nga yung iba't ibang uri ng portfolio? Give me one.
Showcase and
Showcase. Who are you?
Caliejo po.
Caliejo. Ano pa?
Process po, sir.
Process. Sino yun?
Sige, product na lang po ako.
Product. Si Ballestero. Sino yung nagsabi ng
Opo.
process?
Oherio po, sir.
Oherio. May dalawa pa. Ano yun?
Documentation portfolio po, sir.
Sino ito?
Merle.
Merle. May isa pa.
Standard-based po.
Standard-based. Reveliame?
Opo, sir.
Okay. So, you determine anong uri ng portfolio ang gagamitin mo. Sa palagay nyo, pwedeng isang portfolio pero dalawang uri o tatlong uri? Do you think that's possible?
Yes po, sir.
It could be, depending on the nature, depending on the subject. No? So next is question number 3. Ano ang purposes and objectives of the portfolio? So you identify it, ABC. If you can address the 3 learning domains, edi mas mabuti. Isa pa ito. Last year pa tayong gumagawa ng lesson plan. Pero yung 3 learning domains, hindi pa rin masyadong naiintindihan ng iba. Diba? Ang 3 learning domains natin ay cognitive, psychomotor, at saka affective. At kung paano gumagawa ng laman dun sa tatlong learning domain na yun. Paano gumagawa ng learning outcome mula sa tatlo na yun. O gumagawa ng objectives. So make sure na malinaw ang purpose and objectives ng portfolio. Kitang-kita kasi natin sa gawa. Katulad sa gawa nyo sa exam, kitang-kita yung walang alignment. Iba ang statement na nakalagay sa cognitive dun sa pinapagawang assessment. Dapat laging aligned. Diba? That's the key word, alignment. When we make lesson plans, when we make assessment, when we make objectives, when we make activities, make sure na laging naka-align. Ano ba ang sinasabi ng learning outcome 1 at ano ang activity 1 ko at ano ang assessment 1 ko. Dapat sila ay magkaka-align palagi. No? So it's the same with developing portfolio. Most of the time, parang pag sinabi mong portfolio, medyo powerful ang psychomotor kasi naggugupit ng bata, hindi nagsusulat, nagpapatsi, nagkukuha ng kung ano-ano mga bagay, tapos dinidesign, something like that. Pero, depending on the approach and the nature na ginagamit ni teacher, pwede mong ma-enhance si cognitive sa pamamagitan syempre ng pag-iisip or group work collaboration or critical thinking, giving them certain scenarios para makapag-isip. Pwede rin naman din siyang gamitin for affective, for reflection, katulad ng self-reflection. It's a good way or avenue or kung paano ma-strengthen ang affective domain ng ating estudyante. Number 4, what categories of work samples should go into the portfolio? Ano bang mga ilalagay mo? Ano mga kategorya? Ba? Kung mga exams yan, you put categories, which are the quizzes, which are the major exams, which are the projects, so on and so forth. Kung mga poems, you put categories as well kung literature ang subject mo. Kung TLE yan o kung cooking yan, ano mga category na meron tayo na pwedeng ilagay doon. Let's say for example, recipe, magkakahiwalay yung local cuisines kaysa international, o kaya nakahiwalay yung mga bread and pastry, and the likes. Number 5 question, what criteria will students or groups use to select their entries? Paano ba sila mamimili? Kung showcase portfolio yan, ang category ba yung pinakamagandang gawa ng bata, depende sa kung paano tingnan ng estudyante. No? Sa palagay niya, itong pinakamaganda niyang gawa, yun ang category na ginagamit. Or if it's the other way around, pwede rin naman, basta you set the category. Para malaman ng bata na ito ay pwede at ito ay hindi pwede. 6, who will develop the rubrics to assess and evaluate the portfolio? Sino ba ang gagawa ng rubrics? Si faculty ba or si student? O kaya naman ay combination? Pwede. Ngayon, kung education student, pwede mong paggawin ng rubrics. Kung yan naman ay high school, let the faculty do it. Pero pwede rin naman siyang collaborative. Let's say, for example, you ask the student, sa palagay nyo, ano ang gusto nyo na criteria na ma-involve sa rubrics? So, pwede silang mag-suggest, let's say, aesthetics, content, organization, grammar, and the likes. No? So, portfolios may be used to assess the understanding, pero mas ideal talaga si portfolio when you assess product or skill and reasoning targets. This is very useful in writing, and pag ang subject English, very useful. O kaya arts, very useful din. Very useful in writing, reading, and problem solving that are continually improved and demonstrated through products. Makikita mo kasi yung development mula sa unang, pansin nyo yung formal themes or informal themes na ginagamit nung unang panahon sa pagsusulat ng mga paragraph na meron tayo. It is some form of writing. Makikita mo yung development ng estudyante. It is some kind of a portfolio para nakikita mo yung rough draft, yung final draft, then yung final output. Nakikita mo yung development kung paano nag-i-improve ang bata. Critical thinking is also an important target. No? Hindi porket magko-compile ang estudyante, kakalimutan natin ang critical thinking. One of the weak side kung portfolio ay kung sa bahay mo siya pinapagawa. Kasi kahit na ang gusto ng iyong portfolio ay ma-develop ang critical thinking ng estudyante, kung si estudyante ay nagpapagawa sa ibang mga tao, it's the same with the exam katulad ng term 1 exam natin. Ma-check ko kung plagiarized o hindi, pero ang hindi ko kayang i-check ay kung ikaw ba ang gumawa o yung girlfriend mo o yung boyfriend mo o yung nanay mo o yung tita mo o kung kapitbahay mo. Hindi yan kontrolado. So ngayon, ang conviction na lang natin doon, ang responsibility ng learning ay nasa inyo, kung dadayan niyo sa sarili ninyo, kayo, you decide it for yourself. No. But as much as possible, let's believe na sana ay naging responsable tayo sa ating mga ginagawa. So, critical thinking is an important target. Student development and cognition and decision-making skills. Kasi nagde-decide siya depende sa category. Alin ang pipiliin ko? It's a very good way to enhance decision-making skills. However, portfolios are not very efficient for assessing knowledge targets. Kasi nga pwede namang siyang pag knowledge targets, halimbawa yung mga pen and paper tests, pwede siyang makita at ma-check from ma-check sa halimbawa may mga references na hindi naman nakikita ng teacher kasi sa bahay ginagawa. So, one of the loophole pa rin. Next, identify the physical structure. Kailangan ba maganda ang presentation? Sa Siyempre. Sa Siyempre. Sa Siyempre.
Yes po, sir.
Gaano kahalaga ang presentation sa portfolio?
Ano po, sir? Dito po makikita yung yung kung paano ka po natuto dun sa mga previous na lesson at saka dun sa mga kukunin mo pang information.
Ulitin ko
Tapos,
Ulitin ko. Sa palagay mo, gaano kahalaga ang presentation sa portfolio?
dun po makikita yung kung ano yung kakayahan ho ng estudyante. Tsaka kung ano nga po yung yung mga pwede pa nilang matutunan, tsaka yung mga
Isa pa.
yung pwede nilang
Isa pa. Anong ibig sabihin ng presentation na sinasabi ko?
yung the process po.
Ha?
Process po.
The process. Okay, maraming salamat. Hindi mo naiintindihan. Let's go with Merle. Sa palagay mo, gaano kahalaga ang presentation sa portfolio?
Ano po siya, sir? Sobrang mahalaga din po siya kasi po bukod po sa kasama po siya sa rubric, dun pa lang po makikita na po nung teacher kung talagang yung isang estudyante po is willing gawin yung kanyang portfolio po.
Okay, thank you. Revillame, paano ka mag-present ng portfolio? How do you present a portfolio? Your portfolio. Revillame.
Sir,
How do you present a portfolio?
sir, parang
we're talking about physical structure.
Apo, sir. Siyempre, sir, pag gagawa ka ng portfolio, parang, siyempre, you'll make an effort para po dun sa isasubmit mo sa teacher. Kasi nung high school kami, parang pinagawa kami ng portfolio sobrang kapal. Tapos, hindi lang yung basta isasubmit mo na basta lagyan mo lang sa folder or what. Parang nalagyan mo po siya ng effort. Parang nalagyan mo siya ng design para yung portfolio na yung parang inihingi yung halimbawa po sa English. So lalagyan mo siya ng mga words na for example, sir, yung mga insights dun sa kung ano yung English, yung mga ganun po, sir.
Okay, I get your point. Thank you so much. Yun. Sa palagay nyo, alin ang mas importante? Content or presentation?
Content po.
Mahalaga yung content. So when you weight or when you give rubrics, saan mas mataas ang percentage?
Content po.
Sa content. Okay. That's also important. And that's also clear. Pero alam nyo yung ang gandang babae or ang gandang lalaki pero hindi presentable? How do you react to that? Rogelio. Nakakita ka na ba ng ganun?
Opo, sir.
Oo. May pangalan ka? Ha?
Ano pa po yun? Parang elementary pa po yung...
Paano, anong masasabi mo? Ang gandang lalaki, ang gandang babae, pero ang dungis, ang gulo. Baho.
Ang laki ng apekto sa grading and sa personality niya. Since,
Okay.
syempre po yung organization importante rin po.
It affects. So it's the physical structure. Bagaman, maraming salamat sa mga sumagot. Bagaman hindi masyado tayong nagdidwell sa kung anong itsura pang labas. But when it comes to portfolio, presentation, physical structure is very important. Maganda nga, ang tawag doon, malaman nga yung gawa mo, maganda yung content. Pero sa BUG, hindi mo alam kung ano ba yung nauna, alin ba yung pangalawang ilalagay, alin yung pangatlo, halo-halo, o kaya naman ang sama ng sulat. Masama ang sulat. Pwede ba nating bigyan ng mas mababang grado sa presentation kung mababa o mapangit ang sulat ng estudyante? Sige nga daw. Can we include that in the presentation part na parang, ang pangit magsulat, babaan ko ang grade. Can we do that? Can we do that? Sagot.
Sir, sa Siyempre po.
Setyembre, bawi.
Ano po, sir, hindi po.
Kasi
Kasi po, yung kahit po gaano ka pangit yung sulat, ay parang po, sir, pala, depende rin po. Kasi yung iba po, pangit po yung sulat, sir, pero naintindihan naman po yung, yung content po. Tsaka nandun po yung exact na kung paano ginawa yung portfolio, tsaka yung talagang nilalaman po yung mahalaga po, tsaka po dun sa, sa topic. Siyempre po, kailangan pa rin po nating i-consider. Yung iba
Okay.
naman po, sir, pangit yung sulat, tapos di naintindihan. Siyempre po, pag di naintindihan ng bumabasa yung sulat, hindi rin po maintindihan yung content kung ano po ba yung nilalaman ng portfolio.
Okay, maraming salamat. Bagaman marami naman tayong mga kaklase siguro, o naging kaklase, o may matatanda na mapapangit ng sulat. Sa palagay nyo, habang nagpo-progress ang tao mula elementary, naging high school, at naging college, dapat ba gumaganda ang sulat?
Opo, sir.
Yes daw, sabi ni Rebeliame. Tinuturo ba Rebeliame ang tamang pagsusulat sa elementary?
Opo.
O tinuturo. So, ibig sabihin, pag umabot ng college at mapangit ang sulat, anong interpretation? Ha? College na,
Ako
sama
po
ka
ba, sir?
magsulat. Oo, ikaw. Hindi ko sabi pangit ka magsulat. Ha?
Sir? Sir, ang interpretation po parang kaminsan po kasi pag hindi po nagbago yung sulat, ibig sabihin parang hindi nag-progress yung physical mo.
Baka hindi natuto. Ano?
Parang
Tinuturo yan.
natuto naman po pero parang siguro hindi lang po siguro na-develop yung niya.
Hindi natuto magsulat na maayos.
Opo. Parang hindi nag-develop yung
Okay.
skills po.
So, thank you so much. Pagkaman meron sa ating hindi maganda magsulat, pero we are expecting na pag nagpo-progress tayo, umaayos ang sulat. Kasi part yan ng learning, it is a skill. The more you write, the more you can practice, the more na mas mag-i-improve. Ngayon, kung apektado na ang presentation, affected ng physical structure, dahil sa paraan ng pagsusulat mo, it can affect the way kung paano siya ginegradean. Una kasi, gateway ang penmanship dun sa understanding. Kung ako mag-evaluate at hindi ko naiintindihan yung sinusulat mo, how can I evaluate it accurately and precisely depending sa penmanship na hindi ko maintindihan. So, writing is as well very important yung kung paano tayo nagsusulat. At dapat sinisikap din talaga yan na ini-improve. Anyway, let's go to the continuation. What type of container is appropriate? Ano bang gagamitin? File folder ba? Magki-clear book ba? Magpa-plastic bin? O ipapabook bind? Hard bind ba? O soft bind? So how are the materials to be organized? Depende ba sa category? Numerical ba? May 1, 2, 3 ba dyan? Nilalagyan pa ng page yung iba, di ba? Or alphabetical ba yan? Depende ba sa subject area or in other ways? Usually, pag maraming subject area ang nilalagay sa portfolio, ang nagpapagawa niya na advisor, kinocompile lahat ng mga activities, let's say for example, or examinations or laboratories, experiments sa isang portfolio. And where can students store the portfolio for easy access? When I was in DepEd, bumibili ako nung folder box, tapos nilalagay namin sa likod ng classroom. Tapos, doon nilalagay yung output ng estudyante. Diba, nakwento ko na sa inyo, ginugrupo ko ang estudyante. In a month, mayroong 4 na grupo sa loob ng klase. Tapos, isang box ay isang grupo. Tapos, the next month, pagbabago ng group, so they need to reorganize their portfolios there. Ang maganda doon kasi ay mas efficient at mas madali o mas smooth makipag-coordinate sa ating mga parents kapag sila ay may tanong sa kanilang mga anak. Next, number 3. So, nalaman mo na yung purpose. Okay na yung physical structure, ano magiging itsura. Ilagay mo rin po sa detalye kung gusto mo ay may mga design, may flowers, may sticker, may puso-puso. O kung gusto mo naman ay formal portfolio, ay di walang mga ganun. Basta maayos dapat, may borderline, walang mga kaartehan, o kaya naman gusto mo palagyan ng mga quotations. It depends kung paano mo siya dinidetalye sa estudyante. Next is, determine the appropriate organization o yung pagkakasunod at kung saan kukuhain ang content. The content of portfolio consists of entries or the student products and activity records which provides assessment information about the content and processes identified in the dimensions to be assessed. So, depende na rin sa nature kung product-oriented siya or process-oriented. So example, ang tawag dun sa nilalagay natin ng mga content ay artifacts. So examples of artifacts for portfolios by subject area. Una, language arts. Pwedeng favorite poems, songs, or letters, or finished samples. Ay, putol, kasi ako naka-cellphone. Anyway, pag mathematics, it could be solution to an open-ended question, graph, or histogram. Pag science, pwedeng prediction based on prior experience, data tables. For social studies, it could be presentation of a view of society, so on and so forth. Ito yung mga example lamang ng artifacts na pwedeng ilagay. Then select organization entries of portfolio that will allow the students to meet the purpose of the portfolio. I-align mo rin yung organization entries, yung paraan ng pagkakasunod-sunod, alin ang mauna, alin ang kasunod, sa kung ano ba yung dinidikta ng iyong learning outcomes. So, kung may module-module yan, katulad ng compilation ng portfolio, pag module, ay di mag-start si module 1, then si module 2. Tapos kung maisisingit ng mga lesson plan, ay di i-indicate mo rin. If your target is to show performance product, select output-oriented task. So, product. Kasi pinili mo yung product-based, ay di output ang nilalagay ng bata. You do not dwell so much on the process. If you need naman to provide feedback to students on the procedures, ito, process-oriented to, they use inputting together a report, mag-include ka ng summary of that process as part of that performance. Step number 4, determine how the student will do their own reflection. So you establish the student reflection guidelines. And with this, students will develop greater ownership of the process. The more kasi na nagre-reflect yung estudyante, the more na nagkakaroon sila ng ownership on the process kasi nagkakaroon ng reflection. Minsan kasi gumagawa lang ang estudyante kasi hindi niya iniisip kung ano bang nagiging benepisyo nito sa kanya. So sa pamamagitan ng self-reflection na re-revisit ng estudyante na oo nga no, dahil sa ginawa ko na ito, na-realize ko, na ganito pala yung bagay-bagay, you always put student reflection. Example, you can add these different questions depending on the nature of your portfolio assessment. Una, you could describe the steps that you used to complete today's activity. Or which steps really helped you complete the activity and which ones were less useful. What would you change next time? So si bata mag-iisip, oh nga no, it's the same with the pag nag-observe ng teachers. Kami pag nagde-demo kami, at ina-observe ng supervisor, ang tinatanong ng supervisor, sa palagay mo, alin yung pinaka-maganda o pinaka-highlight ng buong teaching demo mo? So ikaw, you will reflect. mag-iisip ka, itong part na po ito. Sa palagay mo, alin yung part ng lesson na nahihirapan ka? It's some sort of reflection. So, nagkakaroon ng ownership yung estudyante. What personal strength did you notice in completing today's work? What difficulties did you have and how did you overcome them? Yan. Saan ka mas pinaka nahirapan dyan sa portfolio na yan? Ay, dito po sa waggawa po nitong tula po na ito. Bakit ka nahirapan? Paano mo siya na-overcome? So, what kind of help did you need that you could not get? And where might you find that help in the future? At some point, thesis or research is some form of compilation or some form of portfolio in the sense na academic paper siya. Kaya may mga portion talaga na aling chapter ang pinaka nahirapan ka. Aling chapter ang pinakamadali pero hindi rin naman madaling gawin. Some point of reflection. What aspects of today's work was meaningful to you? What effect did the work have in your own attitudes? Ano yung weakness? How would you overcome your weakness? Yan yung mga example questions. Pag gagawa kayo ng portfolio, pwede nyo balikan ang mga tanong na ito para ma-empower natin ang student reflection. Step 5. I think this is the last step. As the facilitator of learning, you are responsible to ensure na reliable and high quality ang scoring criteria. The students should be informed also on how you will evaluate their portfolios. Always inform the students kung paano sila ini-evaluate. Kasi doon bumabase dapat sa estudyante. Paano ba ako iskoran? At doon ako babase kung paano ko gagawin. Next. Let's say for example, math problem solving portfolio rating 4, content category. So paki-checkan problem solving, estimation, problem 1, final problem, problem 2, prediction, numbers, and operations. Ito yung pwedeng mga ilagay. Halimbawa, gusto mong mauna sa estimation, ito ilagay mo sa yun ang number 1. O kaya naman pwede rin naman itong checklist para makita ng bata na, nalagay ko na ba o hindi pa. To be completed by the student, date submitted, kailan sinubmit, what does this problem say about you as a problem solver, what do you like best about how you solve this problem, and how will you improve your problem solving skill on the next problem. Diba, nagpapasolve ka ng math, pero nagre-reflect pa rin ang estudyante. Ito, teacher na ang gumagawa nito kasi grading na ito. The quality of reflection. Ito yung rubrics na ginamit niya. Anong uri ng rubrics ito? Anong rubrics ito? May dalawa lang tayong uri ng rubrics.
Analytic po, sir.
Analytic ito?
Opo.
Hindi. Anong rubric ito? Hindi to analytic.
Holistic po.
Yan, holistic. Pag holistic, damay-damay, ang grade mo lang ay 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pag kasi analytic, yung may yung may dimension, yung may box, maraming description. Ito ay holistic. So, depende sa kung anong ipapagawa mo na portfolio, yung gagawin mo na rubrics. Ito ay example lamang. So, of course, trabaho ni teacher, mag-craft nito. Kung gusto mo, may input ang estudyante, pero yung mismong detail, yung mismong comprehensive na laman ng rubrics, si teacher gumagawa niya. So, these are just examples. Let's say, quality reflection, mathematical knowledge, strategic knowledge, communication. Then, use the sum of the ratings, the average ratings, and your comments. Okay, in evaluating scoring criteria, the rubrics available must be consistent with the purpose of the portfolio and with the overall curriculum framework. This is what we call alignment pa rin. May pangalan pa pala. Next is the communicate the results of portfolio evaluation. You conduct a conference with each student, isa-isa, to review its contents. Kasi ito yung sumasandig ito sa prinsipyo na assessment should be well communicated. Para alam ng estudyante kung ano ang weaknesses, ano ang problem. Isa lang ito sa mga hindi natin mag-conduct kapag online because of the limited number of synchronous opportunities that we have. Pero when you deal with your secondary students sa high school, Make sure na magkaroon ng communication properly ng results of portfolio evaluation. The best thing that we can do today or at this moment during online classes ay mabilis na makita na pag nag-submit, ito yung naging score ko. For questions naman, you can always ask your professor kung bakit. Let's go with the next portfolio evaluation. 1. Student evaluation. Ask the students, why did you select this piece of writing? So, tanungin mo, these are the pieces of questions na pwede mong gamitin para ma-extract mo kung talagang si estudyante ang gumawa ng kanyang portfolio. What did you learn from the selection? And kung walang idea yung estudyante, di alam mo na paano niya nailagay dito pero hindi niya naman alam ang content. Can you identify the strength and the weaknesses? What problems have you encountered in doing the task? Which is the most satisfying experience? What are your insights after reading the poem? Is this your best work? Or what kind of work would you like to do in the future? Yun. Second, teacher evaluation. So, si teacher na to. You may use numerical scores bilang teacher. We always use yung numerical scores kasi kailangan natin ilagay yan sa rating sheet o kaya sa report card ng estudyante. Pero maganda rin, we provide qualitative assessment. Yung tipong may wordings, may descriptions, may usap. As a rule of thumb, it is important to remember that the purpose of portfolio is to assess the students' outcomes of the instructional goals. Alignment pa rin sa ating mga learning outcomes. In most cases, the teacher is both the observer and the rater. Pero kung hindi ka masyadong kampante na ikaw lang ang nagre-rate because of your biases and errors in rating, pwede ka namang magdagdag ng additional rater. Next, third, for the teacher-student conference o yung usap nyo one-on-one with the teacher or with the students, it should be scheduled throughout the year, which provides important link between the students and teachers. Kung meron ka 5 section na tinuturuan, na meron tika 40 na estudyante, tapos iwa one-on-one mo, kailangan mo talaga ng very efficient na schedule. No, kasi napakahirap niyang gawin. Your students can be responsible for conducting the conference. Pwedeng sa estudyante ang gawin mong organizer. And this will serve as a motivating force for the learners to produce excellent portfolio in the future. After completion, you can have an exhibition of the portfolios for the parents. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo sa senior high school ng mga tinatawag na gallery walk. Yan. O kaya culminating activity for the parents and for other students to see yung exhibit ng mga portfolio. No, so these are just the last part or the checklist. Portfolio development checklist. Pag gumagawa, this is the summary o i-checkan lang kung naayos mo ba ng maayos. What purposes will your portfolio serve? Check any that apply. Prepare a sample of best work for future teachers to see. Communicate to parents. Minsan, may nakita kang best na output ng portfolio sa estudyante mo. Tapos gusto mo siyang i-keep. Pwede naman, basta inform mo yung bata at may consent na pwede bang akin na lang yung portfolio para makita ng ating mga future teachers, gagamiting sample kapag nagpa-submit sa division office. And so communicate to parents what has been learned, evaluate your teaching, assign course grades, so on and so forth. Anyway, for other checklist, check nyo na lang sa module, naka-upload nyo siya. Ito ay lang, summary nung kung anong pinag-uusapan natin. Okay. Do you have any question?
None po.
None. Teka lang ha, hindi ko sure kung nalagay ko dito. Nakikita nyo pa ba yung screen?
Opo.
Okay. Design. So, ito yung madali lang ito. 3 page lang. Basa naman ba? Basa. Opo. Okay. So, ito ang gagawin ninyo. Parang in 2 weeks time pa naman ang deadline nito. And please submit on time. Ha? Yung mga hindi nakakasubmit ng on time, okay lang naman. Basta make sure na kapag nagbigay ako ng ultimatum, katulad nung nakaraan, November 6, yung ultimatum natin, pag hindi nakapasok doon, ay di nagiging 0 na yung grade. So ngayon, dahil January yung final term o yung term exam, ay di magkakaroon siguro tayo ng ultimatum date on January. Kung hindi mo maipasa doon, ay di ibabagsak na lang din po natin. Ano? Mag-responsable po tayo sa ating mga pinagagagawa. Nagbibigay naman tayo ng consideration sa estudyante, pero yung tipo namang lumipas na ang 3 buwan pero wala kahit isang portfolio na nasubmit o wala kahit isang module na nasubmit, I think there is something wrong with the student anymore. Okay, discuss the concepts of designing and evaluating portfolio assessment in the following situations. First, bilang grade 7 teacher, si Miss Aisa has decided to implement a science portfolio in her class. She believes that portfolio increases students' learning and encourages students to become more reflective learner and develop skills in evaluating strengths and weaknesses of their work. She provides clear books for the students and tells them that they need to put all their activities and examinations in it. Moreover, she kept on reminding her students that they will discuss the content of the portfolio. So ito yung mga sasagutan. Was the plan properly implemented and adequate? Depende sa checklist na meron tayo, depende sa diniscuss na meron tayo. Sa palagay ninyo, was the plan properly implemented and adequate? Is the plan consistent with the principle of designing a portfolio? And what else does she need to improve her implementation? Alam ko may loophole sa kanya dun sa implementation niya. So, put your insights depending syempre sa kung paano ang discussion natin sa portfolio. Next, after spending a 2-week workshop in utilizing portfolio assessment as an alternative tool for assessment, Patrick, together with his co-teachers, decided to use the said alternative tool with his grade 8 English class. Patrick suggests to the class that they will just be selecting one best output from their work within a week. So somehow it is a showcase portfolio. Thus, all simple exercises and other activities are not to be put in the portfolio. The students discussed this suggestion and readily agreed on it. Every other month, students meet with each other to critique what was included and conduct a student-teacher conference. At the end of the school year, Teacher Patrick collects all portfolios, evaluate and rate them and return to his students. Then individual grade was given to each student, including the feedback. You are going to evaluate how well Teacher Patrick conducted his portfolio's implementation. Mapapansin nyo dito, yung isa ay medyo may pagkukulang at yung isa ay medyo sufficient. Then you put your insights. Number 3, you need to obtain examples of one or more student portfolio and the guidelines on how teachers plan in implementing and evaluating portfolio. So, kukuha kayo ng example, isa o higit pang student portfolio na meron available. Let's say, hindi nyo sarili ha. Let's say, nung portfolio ng kapitbahay, ng kapatid, maghanap kayo ng portfolio. And please huwag nyo sabihin sa akin na wala kayong mahanap ng portfolio ha. Napakadaming estudyante sa Pilipinas. Review. Tapos, kung halimbawa, mas maganda nga ang kukuhain yung portfolio ay yung galing sa teacher, tapos ang kausap nyo ay si teacher para mapansin nyo at makita nyo kung ano ba yung guidelines na ginagamit ni ma'am o kaya ni sir. Review and evaluate the portfolio work using the assessment criteria provided by the teacher. So halimbawa, meron dong rubrics, aralin ninyo, then evaluate. Analyze the components, the implementation of the portfolio program, ano yung strength ng portfolio na yon, at saka yung limitation. Tingnan nyo kung paano siya ginratean. So kung makuha yung portfolio ay walang grade, ay hindi mo ma-evaluate. Walang rubrics, hindi mo ma-evaluate. So kung ganun, mas mabuti kung maghanap ka ng isang teacher na merong portfolio assessment, tapos interviewin mo siya at hanapin mo kung ano yung mga, paano nyo po ito sir ginratean, ano po ang ginamit yung mong rubrics. No? Maging magalang lang po sa pagtatanong kasi baka magmukhang ini-evaluate mo si ma'am o kaya si sir. No? Sabihin nyo ay 4 academic purpose only. As a proof, mag-attach kayo ng photocopy ng cover sheet ng portfolio that you have evaluated. Then, construct a graphic organizer to present your analysis. Ang ipepresent nyo sa graphic organizer ay yung analysis ninyo. This is the last. You need to interview a secondary school teacher or a high school teacher. You identify the learning targets that will be appropriate and indicate classroom activities and its corresponding assessment task and portfolio evidences that the teacher utilized. Use the template provided. So may 4 dito na boxes, ibig sabihin 4 na learning targets ang hinihingi. Anong grade level niya, anong topic, anong performance standard ng teacher. Then tanungin, ano pong learning targets niyo for this one? Siyempre, ang hahanapin niyo lamang ay yung mga learning targets na sa dulo ay may portfolio evidence. Ano po yung output na ilalagay ng bata sa portfolio sa learning target po ninyo na ito? Ano po ang ginawa ng bata in the classroom activity? At ano po yung assessment task na nangyari? So you just interview the secondary school teacher. Attach photo evidences of your cooperating teacher during the process of their mentoring on you. Actually, ang original plan dito, ang interview nyo na high school teacher ay yung cooperating teacher nyo for the field study. Kasi dapat nga may field study kayo ngayon. Pero dahil nawala ang field study, ay di maghanap na lang ng kung sino mang available na secondary school teacher na pwede namang hindi niya ngayon ginamit, pwede namang matagal na niyang ginamit. Basta at some point sa kanyang teaching career ay nagkaroon ng portfolio assessment, edi let them share their insights and their wisdom. Question? Wala na po bang tanong? Wala tanong?
Wala po, sir.
Okay, so that's the end of our lesson. Ngayon, standby lang kayo mamaya sa 10:30 na class natin for research ha, kasi may meeting ako ngayong alas 9. So hindi ko alam kung anong oras siya matatapos. Pag natapos ng maaga, edi we will proceed with the research. Pag hindi naman natapos ng maaga, edi inform ko kayo. Hindi ko rin alam kung tatawid siya. Baka umabot siya ng 1:00 o higit pa. Edi we will adjust our classes next week. Depende sa kung ano baging mayari ngayong araw. Thank you so much and God bless you. Mag-ingat po at pagbutihan ng pag-aaral. Stay alive. God bless.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.